Hi, I'm Miranda, and this is CJPME's Reality Check. If you're like me, you probably thought that Canadian consumer protection laws were designed to actually protect Canadians. But in a recent incident involving Israeli wines, it's not so clear who our laws are protecting. Whether we realize it or not, we seriously depend on laws regulating how food and drugs are produced and how products are labeled. Who wants to pay a premium for what they thought was an expensive Italian olive oil, only to find out that it's cheap canola oil? We deserve to know the truth. Our consumer protection laws are supposed to prevent fraud and guarantee product safety. And in general, Canada does a pretty good job of watching over consumers, except, it seems, when the product in question comes from an Israeli business. Let me explain. Earlier this year, Dr. David Kattenberg of Winnipeg, Manitoba, submitted a complaint to the Canadian Food Inspection Agency, demonstrating that certain wines sold in Canada and labeled as a product of Israel were not actually from Israel. Kattenberg had gone himself to the wineries in question and had found out that they were Israeli businesses operating illegally out of the Palestinian West Bank. Such businesses operate illicitly because Israel holds the 2.5 million Palestinians and their land in the West Bank under military occupation. Virtually every country in the world, including Canada, has condemned Israel for this practice. But Israel ignores everyone and continues on with its merry ways, except they aren't so merry for Palestinians. So Kattenberg provides all the proof, shows the government that the wines are falsely labeled. Then, some poor, unsuspecting government worker sees Kattenberg's complaint, confirms what Kattenberg has found, and dutifully sends a letter to all alcohol vendors in Ontario, saying they have to stop selling those wines. And that's when the hits the fan. That poor government worker. They had no idea what red line they had crossed. They didn't realize that the Trudeau government is kept on a short leash by Canada's pro-Israel lobby organizations. And to no one's surprise, within about a day, the government had reversed its decision. On cue from B'nai B'rith Canada, which protested to government officials and then boasted, we can now say that we are expecting this disturbing decision to be corrected in short order. So how, you might ask, did the Canadian government justify ignoring its own food labeling laws? Oh, the government statement said, a clause in our free trade agreement with Israel trumps our own consumer protection laws. Really? Did you really mean that, Mr. Trudeau? A treaty with another country trumps our own criminal code? Israeli business interests are more important than Canadian consumer protection? What part of protect don't you understand? Like, duh. Disgusted? Join the crowd. Better yet, join the lawsuit. Kattenberg and his lawyer have launched a lawsuit in the Federal Court of Canada challenging the Canadian Food Inspection Agency's decision. Kattenberg's suit argues that the product of Israel wine label is both false and misleading, and that the very production of these wines on stolen Palestinian land is in direct violation of international law, which Canada is bound to uphold. Kattenberg and his lawyer need funds to pay the costs as the legal case proceeds. Can you help? Click on the link with this video to contribute to this legal fund. Every little bit helps. Canada's consumer protection laws are meant to protect us, so let's make sure they do. And let's protect the human rights of Palestinians in the process. Please donate now to Label the Occupation at labeltheoccupation.ca.